Hey, this is Jay.
And Aaron.
And Richard.
And we're the VCR kids. We watch movies from our childhood and we see if they still hold up. This week, I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure Aaron picked this one, right? We're watching 10 Things I Hate About You.
I'm making sure that wasn't a pause for...
I know that I didn't pick it. I'm assuming Richard didn't pick it.
I picked it.
Okay, well then let's talk about it, Aaron.
I love this movie. I think it's a good movie. I think it's funny. And it's weird. And I remember that my cousin, I won't say which cousin, had the poem at the end of this movie taped to her ceiling above her bed. Shout out to cousins.
I think what happened was we watched Batman and Aaron was complaining the whole time about the Joker.
I was not complaining. Oh my gosh.
About Jack Nicholson. And she was like, I gotta watch a Heath Ledger movie, but they're never gonna let me watch Dark Knight on here.
I wouldn't ask to watch Dark Knight on here.
Well, Richard, do you have any experience with this movie?
I know I saw it. And I think the thing I remember most, isn't the dad very overprotective?
Yes.
I remember that character.
Do you remember the pregnancy suit?
No.
That's like one thing I remember is like along that line, he makes the youngest daughter put on like he's like a gynecologist or something. That's his job. So he's like, I see teen pregnancies every day. Before you go on your date, he gave her like this vest that has like the breasts and the stomach of a pregnant woman. He makes them like wear it for 30 minutes before they go out on their date so they can think about consequences.
Wow. No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. He like puts it on her and she's like, oh my. And she's like rolling her eyes, like standing there, like, get this over with now.
Wow. I mean, obviously the other thing I remember is Heath Ledger and what's her name? Julia Stiles.
Mm-hmm.
So young cast, popular or famous people. Or I guess were they famous at this time?
I think Heath Ledger was relatively new.
Okay.
No, he'd been in a lot of stuff. He was in like Knight's Tale and stuff like that before this, right?
No, this was first. This was before A Knight's Tale.
Let's see.
He
was in...
Yeah, he was in...
I guess just a lot of TV.
Yeah, he was in The Patriot, Knight's Tale, and some other stuff. But this seems like it came first in 99.
Yeah, I think so. I think this was like his first...
I forgot he was in The Patriot.
Yeah, I did too. And then I thought, wasn't he in that? Huh. No, I think I'm thinking of someone else. It was him.
Yeah. And then, of course, much later, like Brokeback Mountain. And
that's when he did real acting. That's when his real acting chops came through.
So we're not going to see real acting chops in this movie?
I mean, this isn't an Oscar contender. Let's not kid ourselves. But he does have good chemistry with Julia Stiles.
Is he a bad boy in this?
Yes and no. Like, everyone assumes he is, but he's kind of like not really.
Okay.
Like, he's rough around the edges for sure, but he's not bad.
Gotcha. Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
He is such a dweeb in this movie. And there was like a period of time where I thought he was so handsome, but he's very young in this movie and kind of like a dork.
Wow. I don't remember him at all. So that will be a nice little surprise.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure someone made me watch this movie in high school or college. I did not remember that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in it either. I don't remember anything about this movie. I'm 85% sure that I've seen it. And I remember I remember like some images in my head of Heath Ledger. That's about it.
This is a Shakespearean film.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a knockoff of one of his plays, right?
It's a modern redo of The Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you have the like abrasive older sister that no guys want to get with, but the younger one can't get married until she does. So they like come up with this bet to make the older one fall in love and get married. So they choose this guy that like puts up with whatever and takes no crap to.
Aren't they in high school?
Yes. So this is a bet movie. So here goes another bet. Remember we just had a bet in oh God, I can't. What's the name of that movie we just watched?
Cruel Intentions.
Right. And we said like 90s movies and their bet plots. Well, here's another one, folks.
This director, wow. How things went off the rails very quickly for this person. Because like he did this movie. This was his debut film. And then he did Black Knight in 2001 with Martin Lawrence, which is a bizarre movie. I mean, it was filmed in, I think, North Carolina. That's how I remember it.
North Carolina gem.
Yeah, and not very good. And then he goes just direct to video for the rest of maybe his days. So, not good.
Golly.
Yeah.
Hey, he directed some episodes of Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Hey.
So. I think also the principal in this movie is like the running joke throughout is that she's writing like a dirty romance novel.
Oh.
So she like the jokes are constantly like, Google, what's another word for engorged? Or like, she just like.
Oh, they were using Google in 1999?
I don't know. She either asked a student or like asked someone to look it up. I don't know. You could. Why not? Google.
No, you couldn't.
What? The internet was a thing in 1999?
Google wasn't a thing.
I don't remember.
We have seen one of these actors in another movie, Daryl Mitchell, who's a teacher in this movie. He was in Galaxy Quest. Tommy Weber.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I'm pretty sure Joseph Gordon-Levitt's little sidekick friend. I'm pretty sure we've seen.
Is Bernard?
Yeah. See, so there you go.
I apologize. Apparently, it launched in '96.
This movie.
Google.
Oh, see, she could have.
Oh wait, no. 98.
She still could have. Though I like really remember my 4th grade teacher teaching me how to use AskJeeves.com.
Oh, that was a classic.
Yeah, I have that memory in my head. This is a great way to find like whatever you need. You just ask Jeeves.
Yep.
Elementary teachers are always forced to push these things that like don't ever really gain traction. So
Richard, who was that you were saying was someone we've seen before?
It was Daryl Mitchell. He was in Galaxy Quest.
Okay. I was trying to look up I was looking at the cast as well.
Yeah.
But there's like so many people in this, like the guy who plays the dad. Like I know that I've seen him in 1,000 things, but I can't think of anything.
Did you say who did Daryl Mitchell play in Galaxy Quest?
He was Tommy. What did I say? Tommy Weber. Tommy.
He
Weber.
was the kid who was the driver. You remember he like played the kid driver in the TV show, and then when he got older, he was they tried to make him drive.
Yeah,
okay,
and he didn't know how to because
right. I remember that now because he's an actor.
Allison Janney is in this also. Jeez.
She's the principal, I think.
Okay. See, I remember absolutely nothing about this.
I remember the whole plot.
I'm sure.
I won't spoil it.
All right. Are you guys get ready to go watch 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh yeah.
I think you'll like it.
Who, me?
I think everyone will enjoy this film. Film.
We'll see.
Film. Oh, you
We'll
will.
see.
You will.
We're going to go
indeed.
watch 10 Things I Hate About You, and we'll talk to you in a minute. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
What do you think of when I say the following phrases? Goes to camp, saves Christmas, rides again, scared stupid. No, it's not you, you selfish prick. It's the lovable and accident-prone man-child that is Ernest P. Worrell. This is the Importance of Seeing Ernest podcast, the comprehensive and encyclopedic compendium of all things Ernest, actor Jim Varney's greatest creation. Tune in every month as three friends, and occasionally a guest or two, navigate the silly, playful, and family-friendly waters of Ernest in a not-so-family-friendly way. We have a hell of a time reliving these childhood memories, and we invite you to join us in Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice. Know what I mean?
All right, we have officially finished all watching 10 Things I Hate About You. I'll be honest, I think we watched it about a week ago at this point. Maybe a little bit less than a week ago. So I might be a little bit rusty on some of the stuff. Richard, you just finished it.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts so far? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What's your heart tell you?
I still like this movie. This is like one of the teen comedies from like the 90s, you know, when I was a kid, that I go back and I say, that wasn't as stupid as I thought. Like, it's not great. It's not like a wonderful piece of film, but it's a fun movie that's like okay to me. So I like it.
This movie was far better than I thought it would be. I thought it was smarter and cleverer than I remember. So I really enjoyed this. This is a really cool movie.
I kind of agree with you. It was better than I thought it would be. I wouldn't go back and like watch it again necessarily. Like, it's not just like my vibe, but it was definitely better than I enjoyed watching it this time. I do think there were some kind of things that kind of didn't really feel like it carried on very much. Like for example, the principal who was like writing all the dirty books and stuff. And then like there's like 1.5 scenes of that. And then we completely forget about it for the entire movie. Or like,
Was she I thought she was the guidance counselor.
No, she's the principal, I thought.
Maybe either one. I think she was the principal because they sent what's her face to the principal's office.
Because she was Miss Perky, right? I think they show at the very beginning of the movie like her title, and it was guidance counselor. But nonetheless, the thing I love about this movie is the supporting cast. Like, she was funny as could be. The dad was great. The friend, like the geeky friend to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he was funny.
Bernard.
Yeah, I think because I think people remember this for the three actors that kind of blew up after this, like Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger. But like, I think the supporting cast is really underrated in this.
It's a very good movie. The thing I noticed about it was they honestly took one of like the most misogynistic Shakespeare plays, The Taming of the Shrew. It has an insult to women in the title. If you're an outspoken woman who doesn't want to conform, well, you're a shrew. And they make it like a feminist movie about two sisters who kind of take charge of their own lives. They say F the bet.
I don't know. I haven't read or seen Taming of the Shrew since like high school, but I don't think that that's the point. I think that it is more in line with this of like, I don't think that it's calling her out as a bad guy. I think it's kind of backhandedly saying like, because they end up like falling in love at the end of that play, and it's like a whole
Because
thing.
she ends up learning how to be like a quote unquote good wife. Like she calms down and respects her husband and feels like she's obligated to be a good wife and a good woman. So she calms down enough to like assume the role that she was meant to have.
I vaguely remember reading the Spark Notes when I was in high school. I know it has a reputation for that, but I really can't speak about the play. I'll trust your opinion, Aaron. I mean, I think it was a little, maybe just because they wanted a tight little 90-minute movie, but there is a quick turnaround with like conflict and then, okay, I still like you kind of thing, you know, like pretty quick turnaround each time that happened in the movie.
Yeah, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and what's the name of the sister?
Bianca?
Yeah. Like I feel like they had several different times where they were like, "All right, this is I don't really like you anymore, but now I like you. But now I don't like you, but now I like you." And like no real reason behind most of them.
No, there was reasons because he found out that she was like playing him like because at first she was like, yeah, like if you help me get my sister a date, then I can date you. Wink, like shifty eyes, because like she had him kind of doing her dirty work, and he figured it out that she really just wanted to date. Was it Joey?
Yes.
He found that out at the party, and then he was like, I don't like her. She's shallow. Like he realized she was shallow and rude, and then I think she realized Joey sucked at that party, and then kind of came back to Cameron and kissed him, and then he was like, oh, and then so then after that they liked each other, and then she got mad because he wasn't asking her out. Like he didn't have, like after all that he didn't ask her out.
You
But
know,
that was just a blip.
Yeah, Julia Stiles, they consider her antisocial in this movie. And I was like, I would be antisocial. A lot of these people in this like school are kind of garbage people. Like I wouldn't want to hang out with them. So I thought she was the only character I really liked in this movie. Of course, Heath Ledger's a little dreamboat. I texted
Yeah.
y'all that. But
Yeah.
and you know what? Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's a cutie in this. He's
Mhm.
You know what? Interesting little factoid. He actually knows French.
Oh.
So
Is he Canadian?
I
No.
don't believe so.
Okay.
He is from Los Angeles.
Are
Oh,
you
okay.
Canadian, Aaron?
Well, Canadians learn French because of Montreal, so like lots of Canadians know French.
Oh, all okay. All Canadian.
Well, they learn
no
it.
French now.
They learn it in school. Yeah, that's what my Canadian friends told me. Hey, Canadians, am I right? Just let me know. Okay.
So just for the listeners, if you think Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a little cute thing, if you want to watch YouTube videos of him speaking French, it will increase your love of him. So please do
I
that.
like him a lot.
He was born in LA.
Well,
what I
we
just
just
looked
looked that up. Yep.
You like him a lot, but you won't watch his new show with me.
Wow.
He seems mad. I don't like that. I guess I'll give it a try.
He's I liked him a lot in this. I kind of have always sort of identified with him and his characters. You know, I think we had a very similar kind of look as children. Like I got a lot of people would like say like, you know how you're growing up and people are like, oh, you look like that actor or blah, blah, blah. I used to get that a lot. When it wasn't Harry Potter, it was always Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
From Third Rock from This Sign.
Yeah. And then like, you know, as we got, like when I got older, I got it more than when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need to explain the plot? Aaron, I think you could probably give a good little summary.
It's a bet movie.
Yeah.
Two sisters, Kat and Bianca Stratford. Kat is unruly, and she's like, in this movie, I feel like they'd consider her a feminazi, but I just feel like she's normal. Thanks. And then So, but that's how they talk about her a lot. Like, she likes uber feminist things and is very, like, mean to people a lot. Like, just mad. And her sister is, like, this cute little perfect, like, twee girl, you know, dumb, kind of airheaded. But the boys like her a lot. So she wants to go out. But her dad says she can't unless her older sister does. So Bianca starts scheming, and multiple sets of guys think they're in charge with getting Kat to go out on dates with. They picked a quote unquote scary guy that has a reputation for being in jail, and you know, that kind of like weird kid that sits off to the side, Heath Ledger. They figure he's brave enough to take her out, so they pay him to take her out on dates. So
Joey does, yeah.
Yeah, so that Bianca can go out on dates. And he ends up actually really liking Kat. And when she finds out there's been a bet the whole time and gets mad, he wins her back by using the money on a guitar.
Yeah. And
I will say there are a few kind of disturbing scenes in this movie, like the fact that a high school kid flashes a teacher.
Yes.
Very disturbing.
No, thank you.
Well, once again, like I'm watching a movie where it's like we watched this high school that's full of just craziness, and I was like, "This was not my experience." Where is this has to be only in movies, right? Did anyone have this experience growing up?
I sure didn't.
I had some wild teachers, but nothing like that. Like nothing like that.
I will say, like, the school is really over the top, but one thing that I really did appreciate about this movie is I feel like they really captured the way that kids, like high school kids, talk. Like the dialogue, I feel like was very kind of spot on. Just like their level of like over drama and how everything is the end of the world, but they're also trying to use all these big words and be like I felt like the dialogue was very much kind of how I remember people talking in high school and how I talked to people in high school. But I was also hanging out with all the drama nerds, so that might have been part of it as well.
Speaking of another really great minor character is her teacher, Mr. Morgan. I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the kid from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
He said something like, how was your weekend, as if I care. Like, he was just full of great lines.
I liked the detention teacher. He, like, found a kid that had weed, and he was like, I'm confiscating this. And then he grabbed the Cheetos. This, too. Like, it was funny. Like, he's just going to go get lit at home and, like, eat those Cheetos.
That was pretty good. Did y'all see the bloopers at the very end of the movie?
Oh, no, I didn't.
During the credits? So after you get like the aerial helicopter shot of the band playing at the top of the school, they had some bloopers, and they were actually pretty good. As far as bloopers go.
I want to watch them now.
Yeah. Well, it's on Disney Plus.
Right. I'm going to do it. I think like there was a problem, like Heath Ledger, like I don't know if they had him trying to do an American accent, and then they were like, it's not working, like, and then they just kind of like threw in a line or two about him being from Australia.
Yeah, his accent was kind of all over the place, because it definitely did sound in certain scenes like he was trying to do an American accent, and then certain scenes it was like I don't know. I've never really, I've realized, I don't think I've ever really heard him like talk with his like full Australian accent. Like, I don't know if I've seen any interviews with him or anything now that I think about it, but it definitely didn't sound like a real way a person would talk.
No. Well, I thought, because at first it was distracting. I was like, where's this guy from? But I kind of plays a little bit into his character, because he's like from this unknown origin, and his past has all the, like, he sold his liver and all this craziness. So I kind of thought, okay, well, maybe it fits a little bit into the character, beyond it just being distracting from scene to scene. So.
Right.
Because I think I read he moved to America at 10. So he definitely
real
has an
life?
Australian accent, but he's
It might be that just might be his voice.
right.
Because if you've lived here for a while, I started picking up a Southern accent, and I moved to the South when I was 10. I was born in Chicago and was raised in California before that, so definitely nowhere that I would pick up a Southern accent.
I didn't realize he was only 28 when he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very young. It was very sad.
For some reason, I thought he was quite a bit older.
Yeah, I was checking out his Wikipedia during this movie, and man, the cocktail of drugs that was in his system when he passed was just like, rough.
Do better, world.
Yeah. But he's wonderful in this movie. I even the accent, even some of the scenes that were a little cheesy, I enjoyed those main actors in this. Like this
Good.
Yeah, to bring it back around, like this was quite enjoyable. I think this holds up better than maybe something like American Pie would.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I will say I did think that Julia, I mean, all of the characters were over the top and a dramatization, right? Like, I do think though, like, I don't know, I like how she kind of like, and I don't want to say like tamed down because of the whole taming of the shrew thing necessarily, but like, she was really, really, like, I would not have liked being around that person, like how she was early on in the movie. Not just mean, just like there's a level of like, you know, I consider myself someone who is like socially liberal and like progressive and all this stuff. But there's also a certain line where it's like, if someone goes too far, you're just like, oh my God, like you need to just stop talking. Or like, and she was definitely like over that line as a character, I feel like. But then she kind of like, I feel like when she loosened up and started letting more people in and stuff like that, that kind of helped.
I think she had like anger from what happened to her, and then it kind of got worked out through the situation, you know, so then she got less angry.
Yeah. Well, Miss Perky nailed it, right? People don't like you.
Heinous bitch.
Yeah. Changing that to bratwurst.
So bad. I thought that was the principal. She was a very bad guidance counselor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and like I said, the dad was over the top, but like pretty funny in some scenes. The dad. He was great.
I liked when he made Bianca wear the pregnant belly, and then Patrick comes to the house to pick her up and goes, "Who knocked up your sister?"
Right. And it was like kissing. He's like, kissing doesn't create placentas. Like he was, it was refreshing to not have like one of the parents die and that be the trope from the 90s. Like it was a divorced family, which I kind of.
The mom just left.
Right. I preferred that a little bit more because I think we've seen so many movies where it's like one of the parents have passed, right?
I think it was like, I don't think it was kissing. I think it was kissing isn't why I'm elbow deep in placenta.
That's right. Yes.
That's what it was.
And he had a beeper. I mean, this movie, you had some.
Hey, no, I will say my uncle, who's a surgeon, still uses a beeper.
I don't think that's.
Doctors.
I think that's just because it's your uncle.
I don't know. I think doctors use a beeper because that's how they page them.
I think your uncle still has like a flip phone and doesn't pay for text messages, so that's why he needs to have a beeper.
Maybe.
What I was getting at is
possible.
This movie is definitely a time capsule. Like there's some things that like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But even like to your point of how he was like over the top, I think they do a really good balance of so many of the characters are just like ridiculous and extreme, but then they all have like something that kind of like that scene he has with Kat, like where they're sitting out on the porch together. I feel like, all right, like he's a ridiculous caricature, but this kind of humanizes him and like makes it a little bit more bearable. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, like him, Heath Ledger being the bad boy, and then that kind of cheesy scene where he's singing to her in the marching band. I still
Yeah.
like that scene. I thought it was cute.
Oh my God. Aaron was like rolling off of the couch, laughing and smiling. That was like,
Oh yeah,
I haven't
When he
seen her
was
so
getting-
happy in a long
when
time.
he was getting chased around the bleachers, I liked that part.
Yeah. I mean, even like when they're in the bar, the biker bar,
Mhm.
and who was it? Gordon Joseph. He like got the matches, and the
Mhm.
guy's like, "Don't touch that. You're gonna get like hepatitis." There's so many. Each scene has something really cool and redeeming about it. This was enjoyable. I disagree with Jay. I would rewatch this in a couple years. I would do it.
I love this movie. It's like one of the ones that holds up, like, and I know it does. It's not a bad one, you know? Like a lot of the other ones, they just kind of become lame and you're like, okay. But like this one still is fun.
I will say I was a little bit surprised that it came out in 99. Like I definitely felt like it was a little bit earlier than that. Like it has a more of a vibe of earlier than 1999. And that might just be like some of the costumes. Like, I mean, I guess now that I think about it, like Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles were like kind of coming into that 2000s costume area. But, like that stupid suit that model kid wore all the time and like, stuff like
The
that. was
high-waisted
like,
pants he had, like the high-waisted pleated pants.
yeah. What I was saying before about most characters having a redeeming quality, he doesn't. That was like
No.
the worst character in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Joey or whatever.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad he got punched in the eye by a girl. That was triumphant.
Yeah,
when
you're
Bianca
right.
took care
Jay,
of business.
I think you're right. This feels like an 80s movie that's transplanted into the 90s. Like, it feels like movies from the 80s, but now we're in the 90s and they're playing the music and have the style. But
It's clever enough that it's almost like, gosh, what's that guy? He wrote Breakfast Club.
John Hughes.
Yeah, it feels kind of like that, to be honest. All like the little quirks, like that stuff he does.
right.
And those movies still hold up. Also, like the Pretty in Pink, the 16 Candles, the Breakfast Club. Those still hold up too.
Right.
For these same reasons.
Well, wait. So I guess overall, you guys think it holds up?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for
for
sure.
sure.
Do we want to talk about our big announcement or save that for another thing?
We could maybe save it for the next episode.
Yeah.
We got a big announcement coming up, guys.
Stay
Listen to the next episode.
Stay tuned.
Any other thoughts you guys have before we wrap this up?
Yeah.
No.
Just be clear, stay tuned. We already watched that movie. That's not the big announcement.
Uh-oh.
No.
All right. Well, we will talk to you next week with another movie. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Shoulder
Cats.
Radio.